why don't we move into our stock up, stock down, guys? Craig, start us off.
Okay, moving up. This is a pretty easy call for me, I think. Ryan Palmer. I've been on and off of him on DFS. I think he's a very streaky guy. Yeah, I had mentioned, when we first recapped the tournament, I was so impressed. First off, what he did all week long, but when he made that double on, I think it's 11 or 12 there. 11. The 11th hole, the par 3 there.
Yeah.
I just had decided he was done. There's no real shot he has in this tournament, and he just gutted it out the rest of the way and really did well to end up with a 4th place finish there. Which, when you're looking for guys in DFS or whatever, maybe an each way. You've got an each way on someone.
Yeah, baby.
You want someone who, they're going to make a double bogey, but they're going to go out there and they're going to make some birdies afterwards to keep moving up the leaderboard if they can.
Well, it's kind of funny because after 11, in the final group, they start running out of players to show. So I'm like, it's going to be at the point where they don't show Palmer. Like, they'd rather show Harris. It's like shot for a 5th time. But then he started making birdies. And I'm like, all right, he's playing himself back into it. There's a chance for a 5th place or better.
Yeah. Stock down. I got to go Hideki. Hideki Matsuyama, my boy. It hurts. The person who Mackenzie Hughes was lucky to tie with was Hideki Matsuyama, who he would have been somewhere around the top 10 odds going in. I know because I paid for him in a few DFSs, and he unfortunately was one of those reasons that all my other good picks did not end up with such good lineups. His putting was atrocious the first 3 rounds. He lost, I want to say he probably lost over 7 strokes through the first 3 rounds putting. I don't worry about Hideki in the long term. I think he needs to figure out the putting thing. I think he is playing next week, I'm pretty sure. So hopefully we saw a good Sunday from him. He was I want to say -4 or 5 today. So hopefully he can turn it around. But yeah, you really got to think that's a stock down day.
I think also the big thing, first tournament 2021 is a big year for Hideki. And I think the big reason is the Olympics in Japan.
Right.
There is going to be a huge amount of pressure all the way leading up and absolutely at the Olympics.
Yeah.
So I'm cheering for him. I want him to get either that major or Olympic medal. I don't like whatever it is. He's too talented.
A gold this year would be pretty nice, even without a major on his resume.
I think
if he
Japan
could win a
would
gold.
no major, he'd be a hero forever.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Canada hockey gold medal when it's in Vancouver or something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter anything else that happens during those Olympics. It's like, if we can get this, then we'll be happy.
We're good. Yeah.
All right, Adam, who you got?
Stock up, Sungae Im. I feel like Sungae is kind of like I'm the coach and he's like the coach's son or something. Like, I'm really hard on him, but I also have to give him like a job well done when he does do a good job. And he's been in a few of the stock downs for me over the history of our podcast this past year, but he's stock up for me this time. PGA Tour stopped. He flew over to Dubai for the European Tour finale. He finished 14th there. Came in here, finished 5th. His best result of all the players at this course for the first time. So I think there's probably 7 or 8 of them. He was by far and away the best of that field, and he led the field in strokes gained tee degree at 2.38 average across 4 days. So really on top of his game, and kind of with a hot putter potentially could have had a different result.
And he's another guy too. We were talking about it with Niemann about how young he is, but he's another guy too that I think we fail to remember how young he is. Yeah. Maybe because he's played enough golf, for most people have played by the time they're 30, just because he likes to play 50 tournaments a year.
Do you think he can go for like a Cal Ripken type, like unbreakable tournament? Like, because there's 50 or something this year, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyone can do it, it's Sungae.
I don't know what the current record is, but that'd be interesting.
I'm gonna have to look that one
up. You
up.
can make a run.
Yeah. My stock down. Tony Finau.
My boy.
Kevin, your boy. it kind of seemed like this weird narrative that a non-champion could have won the Tournament of Champions. You know, Harris English pulled that off, and it's a really cool storyline. A lot of people like Tony Finau coming in, you know. He
what better non-champion, eh?
Yeah. I mean, he has that name tag that goes along. Like, he needs to win more. Throughout the tournament, negative strokes gained putting, negative strokes gained around the green, and no negative strokes gained approach.
I'm just trying to think here. I don't know if I saw a single second of Tony Finau on the broadcast over the course of the 4 days.
I didn't. No, I'm going purely from stats here. I mean, from
I know, but like that shows how his tournament. Like there was no highlight that they're like, oh, and here's Finau making an eagle here, or
no. Well, he started off with a 74, so he was pretty much out of it after day one. Then
nothing highlight worthy to show outside of the normal.
It is a little bit surprising though. I don't know that he's been in the best form as of late, but I thought this course, it does favor guys that can hit it far. Yeah. And he typically has a very good approach game.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I thought
I thought it would
might
set up
suit
well
him.
for him.
Yeah, I really did. So I was surprised to see him not play very well here.
So he's, from what I can tell, he's not in the field at the Sony Open this week. So he's going back probably to the States. I also kind of just feel like he needs to pick up one of these other wins, when all the heavyweights aren't there. Just kind of get that feeling of winning. And might then boost him into a major championship win or something like that.
Yeah. Once he gets that first one, watch out.
There was a lot of
the second one, I should say, the second one.
There's a lot of the major guys here, though, this week. So I don't know if this is... Oh, you mean next week?
Next week. That's it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Well, my stock up for this week is Joaquin Niemann. He just played better and better every day.
Yeah, I was going to say, it kind of is just right there. I mean, you don't need to say a whole lot about it.
Yeah, he goes 69, 67, 67, 64, and arguably the hardest conditions of the week were on Sunday when he shot a 64. He, like I said, he's a guy who can be pretty streaky, I think, but right now he looks to be playing very well. And he's a guy you got to consider moving forward in some of these tournaments. If he can keep this form, he could grab a couple of wins real quick. So he's somebody I'm going to be looking at backing as an outright moving forward for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely one of these guys that, when you see younger players starting to play well, sometimes you're like, oh yeah, he's good, he's solid everywhere. And then there's other guys you're like he seems like he's gonna win tournaments, and you definitely get that from him. It's not like it's always gonna be pretty with him. He's gonna have rounds where he blows up and it doesn't work, but just the way he approaches it, it seems like he's going to get wins.
I was gonna say there's a difference. Sorry, Adam. There is a difference between guys that they finish high and guys that you really think that guy can win. He can win. He's not afraid to go get it and win. I think when he did win, he won by about 6, didn't he?
I don't remember the Greenbrier.
Yeah, I think he won by 5 or 6 strokes. He just destroyed the field, and he was obviously on that week. So, yeah. Sorry, Adam,
yeah, 6 strokes there. Yeah. I was just gonna say, I find him to be a really hard guy to predict. Yeah. I don't know when he is gonna pop.
I agree.
So, I mean, for DFS purposes, I usually am tentative or all in, and then if he plays well Thursday, I hammer that showdown. I'm like, all right, Niemann, let's ride this all the way to Sunday, baby.
Yeah, I definitely like him typically more in showdown than in week long, but his ownership's always high too in week long, which so you can decide you want to play the contrarian and not have him, but then there's times where he plays well and you're like, well,
yeah,
you need to be on it if you want a piece of that.
Yeah. So my stock down this week is my boy Mackenzie Hughes, but I want to preface this by saying I just want him to have some bulletin board material. I'm trying to motivate him.
Oh, okay.
It was a bad week this week, but I think by me putting him as my stock down, it's gonna make him really just want to prove me wrong and get out there and turn it around next start. So Mackenzie, it wasn't your best. Tie for last. can't be a good sign really. But as Adam says, maybe your attitude's in the right place and you're gonna find your groove here pretty quick.
I'm picturing like a Rocky montage. Like he's on the putting green. He's like, Kevin from Grandstand Golf, stock down. Like, vibrates through his head, and he's like motivated.
I hope so. That's what I'm trying to do for you right now, Mackenzie. I want you to turn it around. This wasn't what we were looking for, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world either. So
I had him as a sleeper going in this week, so I feel you. I think he is just, and maybe I overread into this, but I think that if it had gotten windy, I would like him more than playing in perfect conditions here, just because I think he's a better grinder in harder conditions, harder courses than he is. And I mean, it's tough because he also has had good results in Birdie Fest type of tournaments, but I think he's at his best when the play gets hard.
I think so too. I totally agree with that assessment. So keep your chin up, Mackenzie.